Good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday. Sorry about postponing the 1 o'clock show until now. I was helping Billy Tucci with his fulfillment of his campaigns for She Return of the Warrior. The books look fantastic, by the way, and the prints, if you ordered a print, they're gorgeous. We had a good time today hanging out, fulfilling those books, and everybody's going to be getting them soon. So congrats to everybody that campaigned and pledged for Billy Tucci's She Return of the Warrior. It's going to be great. Anyway, having said that, today is Art of the Jam, episode 2. I go over my jams one by one and just kind of go over the characters, who drew them, give you a nice good look at them. And I will talk about them during the jam, and at the end of the show I will ask a question based on the things I said during the show. And if you get the first person to get the question right will win 2 prints this week, because last week there was no winner. But not only do you get the 2 prints, but you also get the Vampirella that Buzz donated to my show, and you get the black cat that my wife so kindly drew. So you'll really get 4 prints if you win the question of the contest today. I was hoping to get a few more people in here. People show up late, and unfortunately they may miss the answer to the question. So if you want to share this out and give everybody a chance to come in and win some free art, that'd be great. I really do want to give away some free art. I love free art. I'm sure you do. And we have some awesome artists that are donating art. So, all right, let's get to the jam, and hopefully anybody who's interested in winning will come in time to get the answers. All right, so let me share my screen. All right. So here we have the very first jam I ever did. I'm sorry, some of it is kind of lightly penciled. For example, here's Will Spatasio. So as I said last week, you get a layout, which is the skeleton of the characters that you're having drawn. I pick 11 by 17. I do a landscape because I like that, like the Jim Lee trading cards back in the 90s. I like the group shots. And Jason Metcalf is the one that does all my layouts. I highly recommend him. He does the best layouts. I've even had artists say that my layouts are the best they've seen. So that's thanks to Jason, of course, not me. So go contact Jason Metcalf. And as I told you, usually try to get the rock star first, so everybody else joins in, steps up, and really wants to match that talent level. So the idea behind this was, I wanted to get all the X-Men from the original X-Men group, and then as many as I could from the giant size X-Men. Next week I'll show you a jam where a few characters, stragglers that I couldn't fit here for giant size X-Men, mix in with the New Mutants. They don't exactly attach, but they will kind of thematically attach 3 of them together. So getting to this jam, first I got Iceman done first by Will Spatasio. Again, he's a legend in the industry. I went to Phoenix Comic-Con in 2016, I think. And he had done this Iceman for me, and he added the detail, the slide, the effects on the hand, just like his old X Factor cover days, and all the snow coming out. It was just amazing, and steam from the cold coming off his head. And then I'll go clockwise. Storm is Neil Adams. I was at New York Comic Con, and I got Neil Adams to draw Storm, and it was a pretty penny, but it's Neil Adams, so So Neil Adams did Storm. Edward Pensica did Banshee, and it's really light, and I apologize, I can't darken it, but the detail on the face is amazing. He's yelling, of course, as he's flying, and Edward Pensica is an amazing artist. He's done Red Lanterns, among other things, so please go check him out if you're not. One of my all-time favorite artists, Philip Tan. I saw at New York Comic Con. It was the same Comic Con that I saw Neil Adams for Storm. I think it was 2016 as well. I believe so. And he did Phoenix for me. He did a different kind of style on the Phoenix bird, which I think is great, because if you look at the one Billy Tucci did on the jam I showed last week where he had the traditional fire, it doesn't look redundant. So I think that was really cool. And then the same show, I had David Finch do Angel. And I told you a story about David Finch last week, how great a guy he is. And again, he was a great guy to fit this in for me with a crazy line. And he didn't rake me over the coals. And he was just really awesome. And obviously, look at the details. It's David Finch. Enough said on that. Down here, we have Nightcrawler by V. Ken Marion. If you don't know V. Ken Marion, he works for DC. His pencils are just incredible. And this is like an amazing Nightcrawler. If you could see the detail on the face, the shadowing over the eyes, the hair, the pose, the action pose, he added all of the Banff smoke, which this jam is it's my favorite for a lot of reasons. And one of the things I loved is that everyone added some sort of effect in it, so it really just filled the piece out nicely. I mean, the Banff thing back there, he has 2 Banffs, and then back there, it was just amazing. And the fiery phoenix and the lightning and the ice. So it was just awesome. Then we'll go to Kitty Pryde. Now, Todd Nauck at Phoenix, the same show that I got Will Spatasio. Todd Nauck was really, really busy. And he was swamped. And literally 10 minutes before the end of the show on the last day, he said, yeah, bring it over. And he drew this Kitty Pryde in 10 minutes, and I think he knocked it out of the park. He didn't, and as much as 10 minutes seems like it's really quick, he didn't rush it. He really took his time. He took care of it, and I really appreciated that Todd Nauck did that. And again, Kitty, he says, is his favorite X-Man, so it was great to have him do that. Jason Metcalf did this Colossus. The pencils are very light, so I'm sorry. But Jason did this at the same Phoenix show, and that when I actually got the layout from Jason at that show in Phoenix 2016. It was my very first layout. And like I said, I think I said in the last show, based on the fact that Jason did trading cards, and I loved the whole Jim Lee trading cards in the 90s concept where he did the gold team and the blue team and then Excalibur and X Factor. So I really loved the team roster aspect, and I thought Jason was perfect for it. So he did it, and he did the Colossus on here. So actually, I'm sorry, Colossus was the first character, and then I went straight to Wills, because when Jason did the layout, he did Colossus for me. Adelso Corona had done the Polaris here. The funny thing is Jason forgot to add in Polaris. She was supposed to be in there. So he squeezed her in later on and still made it work. And Adelso did a nice job with with the little bit he had there. Adelso Corona. Scott Hanna did Cyclops, and I thought Cyclops just came out amazing. This was also at the New York Comic Con show in 2016, and yes, it was 16. It's right there. And I love how he did the little effect from his visor, like he just shot his blast. Very forceful stance, like the leader. It was awesome. Robson Roca did this Havoc traditional. It's very light. I apologize, but I like the traditional Havoc costume. A lot of people hate it. I kind of like the crown and the ruby. Call me corny. And he did a great job of him kind of yelling and his, the power there. He was going to go with the bigger circles to show the power, but it would have drowned out everything around him. So unfortunately, he couldn't do that. Wolverine was done by Norm Ratman. Norm is known, obviously, as a great inker. He inks over Brett Booth and Ian Churchill and a bunch of people. He's done so many things for DC. But as everybody will tell you, great inkers are also great artists. And Norm Ratman did this Wolverine. Norm was reluctant to do it at first. I'm not sure why. But he gave in and he did it. And I thought he did an amazing job on Wolverine. And again, he was sitting next to Todd Nauck when Todd did the Kitty. Norm actually did the Wolverine, I think, the first or second day of the show. And Todd was so busy, but he was nice to fit it in at the end. And finally, we have the Beast. The Beast was drawn by my wife. My wife was the last piece on here because she was nervous and shy being on here with all these heavy hitters. I mean, you have Neil Adams and Will Spertasio and Philip Tan and David Finch and Todd Nauck and Scott Hanna and Norm Rapman and Robson Roca and Eduardo Pensica and Jason Metcalf and V. Ken Marion. So my wife was shy, but I think she did a phenomenal job, and she absolutely belongs on here. So this jam was important to me for 3 reasons. This was the first jam. my wife is on it. And getting this jam started my collection of original art, which led me to the relationships that I built with the artists, that when I decided to do a show, I had developed those relationships with them, and it catapulted the show, and getting, the artist alley at my show that no other one-day show gets. I don't mean that to be braggadocious, but it's true. And it all started with this jam. I mean, I didn't even know that, I was making those connections and friendships, etc., with artists at the time, because I was just an art collector getting them. But sure enough, this sparked all of that. So my show stems from this. The fact that my wife is on this, and she did an amazing job, and just the fact that it was the first jam. And I love the X-Men. I also think it's just the most incredible looking jam with all of the effects. And Nightcrawler being my favorite, as everybody who knows me knows, V.K. Marion just killed it. I mean, it is amazing. It is amazing. I mean, I wish I could show a close up on his face, but it's phenomenal. So, thank you to all the artists that have been on this, and I really recommend everybody do a jam. Now, I go a little back crap crazy, and I spend a ton of money at shows, and I get a lot of guys done. But again, if you want to do a jam and you're on a limited budget, and you can get a lot of great artists that aren't, very expensive, obviously. But if you do want that expensive guy, well, maybe you just save up, and at that one show, that's your one person that you get. There's no time limit for getting all these characters done. Part of the joy is picking the right artist for the right character after, picking what you want for the layout. So it's kind of like comic issue bin hopping, The fun sometimes is in the treasure hunt. And then what you feel when you finally find that issue you want, well, it's the same feeling when you do jam pieces. To be able to get Philip Tan on the piece, it's just fantastic. It makes you feel great, you know what I mean? And Wilson, just everybody. And then when you look at what's done, you're just wowed, So this piece is currently being inked by Adelso Corona, who drew Polaris. And I'm hoping to have it before my birthday, October 12th, because I'm so excited to see this piece done, as well as the piece I showed last week. They're both being inked by Adelso Corona. So I'm really excited about that. So I hope you guys really enjoyed talking about the jam piece. It's being inked. The blue line is being inked. So the original pencils are mine. They're hung up on the wall behind me. I will keep the original pencils. Delsa will ink the blue line. I will, as you know, I will frame an inked version, and then I'm going to get it colored. Now, this is the thing. Alex Sinclair is going to color it, and so is Chris Sotomayor. They're two of the top colorists in the industry, and I actually want to see the comparison of the two of their colors. So I'm going to have them both color it, and I'll have two color versions. And then this will, of course, be added to that coffee table book that I will get when everything is completed. And that's that. So, having said that, hopefully people stuck around. If you want to win free art, let me see if I can show you. Yeah, I'm not going to go through showing the art right now, but I am going to show you. Oh, I'm so sorry, I neglected comments. Hey, Cousin Chris. Heather, how are you? Tom Foster, how are you, man? Keith, Rick Moody. We got some Dante. What's up, buddy? Do you have an ink copy to compare? No, not yet. But when I get the inked copy, I promise you it will be posted and shown. I'm so excited. Raphael, what are you doing, buddy? How are you? Yes, Raphael remembers this piece well. I met Raphael with this piece. As a matter of fact, if you go to the Bitten Apples YouTube and you type in New York City Comic-Con fan versus Neil Adams, you might find that amusing. I met Adelso and Raphael at that show, and it is really funny. So I'm not going to get into it here, but go check that out. The Bitten Apple, their YouTube channel. Go wifey. Yes, she does. Thank you, Raphael. I appreciate that, buddy. Is it better to get a big jam piece or a head picks? That's a preference, Keith. Some people like to get the head picks in the boxes. I'm going to tell you, economically, it is a lot better on your wallet if you just get head pieces. You can get head pieces from $30 and usually full colored to maybe $70, $80. and you can get 9 to 12 headshots on a page if that's what you want to do. But I like full body. I don't really do the headshot thing, which are cool, but hey, Troy's here, and I got to talk about Troy. So it's really a preference to you, but what's cheaper, I would say the headshots are definitely cheaper. Some of these can get pricey, but again, I'm going for Neil Adams, I'm going for Will Portacio. There are local artists and up and coming artists that are so talented, and you can get jam pieces of them. So it's really up to you. Tom Foster, thank you. John Ottinger, is it Ottinger or Ottinger? I'm sorry, but how you doing? So Troy Emmy's here. Troy is actually, and I didn't mention this last week, Troy is the one that introduced me to jam pieces. Troy has been getting them. He does them a little different than me, but his are phenomenal. And I apologize, Troy. I don't know the name of your store, but Troy owns a store which has amazing statues, by the way, and other collectibles. So reach out to Troy Emmy about his store. But Troy was getting the jam pieces, and he explained to me what I explained to you last week, the best way to get the pieces done. So I really owe this all to Troy on starting the jam pieces and then telling me the best way to go about it. So every jam piece I have stems from the fact that he shared that with me. Fanboy Collectibles. Put the link if you want, Troy, in the chat for everybody to check it out and see what you have in inventory and stuff. Troy Emmy's also at every New York Comic Con. He's a huge display. Just look for the best statues and you'll know it's him. And it's Fanboy Collectibles. So, all right. So, free art. So, nobody won the print last week. We're going to do 2 prints this week, plus the Buzz Vampirella print from my show exclusive. And thanks, Troy. I appreciate it. And I'm going to give away my wife's Black Cat print that was exclusive to my last show. So you'll get 4 prints, and whoever wins, I will send you pictures of the prints, and you can pick what you want. Some have already been given away, so we're down. We're down a few. All right. So I didn't even, I was going to do my question, and then I thought to change it, and I'm going to do something a little later in the show for people that might have come late, I guess, to make it. I don't know if that's fair. Maybe it's not fair. People who come on, on time, it's fair, but whatever. All right. Who was the first character I got done on this jam piece? I'll give you guys time to answer that. Who was the first character done on the jam piece? And if you can tell me who drew them, I'll throw in another print. And I just slipped up and gave you a hint. Nobody likes free art? Dell, good guess, but you didn't listen towards the end. Tom Foster wins. Colossus. I had said in the beginning that Iceman I got with Will's first, and then I corrected myself and said that Jason Metcalf did the layout, and he did the Colossus. Unfortunately, I gave Jason's name, so I kind of screwed that up. All right. Louis Portacio. Wills Portacio. Wilce. Tom Foster has won this week. You won 4 prints, actually, and you're going to get the Buzz print of Vampirella. It was actually a double cover he had done. It's an exclusive print for my show when it was the Suffolk Comic and Art Expo, a Black Cat print for my wife, and then I'm going to let you pick 2 prints from probably about a good 20 or so. I will DM you now, Tom, with the pictures of the prints, and you can choose them. Just give me your address, and we'll go from there. So that's it about the jam. Again, just one quick look back. We have Storm by Neil Adams. We have Banshee by Eduardo Pansica. We have Phoenix by Philip Tan. Angel by David Finch. Nightcrawler by V. Ken Marion. Kitty Pryde by Todd Nock. Colossus by Jason Metcalf. Polaris by Adelso Corona. Wolverine by Norm Ratmond. Cyclops by Scott Hanna. Rob Sinaroka did Havoc. Will Spatasio did Iceman. And my lovely, amazing wife, Stephanie Russert, did The Beast. All right. Thanks, guys, for coming out. Thanks for checking out my jam with me and spending this time. Sorry it was delayed from the afternoon. Congratulations, Tom Foster, for winning. Yes, Keith. V-Ken is a really cool guy. He's here in Brooklyn. His artwork is just incredible. So thanks for coming out. And, Tom, I'm going to DM you in a few minutes. You guys are awesome. It's Colorist Week. I have Chris Sotomayor on Tuesday's Q&A at 10 p.m. Okay? Chris Sotomayor. Look at every book in your collection, and he's probably colored about 70% of them. Okay? He's a major colorist. To me, he's like the Scott Hanna of colorists. He's done everything, but probably doesn't get the rock star treatment. And then on Friday, we have Alex Sinclair, which everybody knows is the colorist for Jim Lee. And as well as working on Superman with Ivan Reis and Joe Prado and Michael Bendis. So these are major colorists in the industry, and they're great guys. So come out Tuesday and Friday, 10 p.m. And Thursday, I'm going to be on Enrique Lopez show, Inking with Kike on Instagram. His page is Studio MAENEFL, Studio Maine EFL. I'm actually the guest. He's going to interview me. So if that's interesting to you, come on out. If it's not, I get it. All right. So thanks, Raphael. Love these jams. They are jamming. A lot of great stuff. Thanks, Troy. I appreciate it. It's a compliment coming from you because you're a big art enthusiast and you have some amazing jams as well. And you have some great artists on your jams. So you should go check out. I don't know if you haven't posted Troy somewhere, but if you do, you should go check out Troy's jams. They're awesome. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Congratulations to Tom for winning. And I will see you guys Tuesday for Chris Sotomayor. And, of course, next Saturday, unless I'm helping Billy Tucci with his fulfillment again, we will have episode 3 where I do the next jam piece. All right? God bless, be well, and have fun storming the castle.